first came to Vedica, I was a person with extremely low self-esteem. I had no confidence, probably as a result of not getting enough attention or feedback as to how I speak or how I put myself across. So when I first came to Vedica, I got personal attention from everyone from the team. They knew what my strong points were with the right feedbacks that I got in the first week itself during the Art of Leadership course where I had to speak in front of a public. I think that's when things really changed for me. I realized that communication can be one of my strongest points and I decided to focus on it more. When I sat with the communication team is when they told me that the problem with the way I spoke was the thought-speech gap that I had. I used fillers to fill the gap between two sentences, and that is when I realized that is something that I need to focus on. I also use a lot of words to hide my nervousness, which wasn't the right thing to do, and I got the right feedback and attention to work on it. I started giving more public speeches. I started going to events where I have to interact with people and get over my fear. So this constant reminder of how you have to work on it and get out of your comfort zone was something that really pushed me to be better when it comes to my communication. That is when I learned that first you need to structure your thoughts well, then you need to articulate them, and then you need to present them in a way which would interest the audience. When I realized these three things, that is when I noticed a complete change in myself. When I went for my shadow, that is one thing that people appreciated and complimented me for. It doesn't matter how big the room is, the larger the audience, the better I am. So I think that is something that really changed in me during this Vedica journey. The program team asked me to focus on three important things. First was to be updated with what's going around you in terms of general knowledge and to have opinions about the same things. Second was the personal narrative workshop that we had, and we needed to make a personal story of our lives as to what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are. And third was brushing up on the subjects that we had studied before, especially microeconomics, macroeconomics, strategy, marketing, and other courses. When the placement preparation started, we had workshops like guesstimates, case study workshops, and group discussions. We also had mock interviews with one of our faculties that really helped me understand what are the questions I'll be dealing with when I sit for interviews. I was made to write all the answers for those questions, and when I finally went for the interview, I had to keep those points in my head. I had to make pointers out of all the answers and develop more on that story. So that is one thing that really helped me during my Airtel preparation when I sat for the interview. The first one was the group discussion, where I was able to use my skills as a person who's strong in communications to put my point across, put my opinion across. The second round was the case study round, where I was taught how to focus on two sides, the revenue sides and the increasing the market share size, which really helped me in understanding the case study better and to give my answers accordingly. The final round was the interview round, which focused more on how enthusiastic I was to join that company, which I was really, because it really was my dream company. When the final interview really happened, they were very happy with all the answers that I gave, and this was a feedback that I got soon after my interview, that the personal narrative that I had was one of the strongest points that I have, and I should always put that across. So, of course, when the results were announced, I was over the moon. I couldn't believe myself being a fresher who was struggling with problems like low self-confidence, low self-esteem. Getting a job that big was unbelievable, and I think this was only possible because of all the preparation that Vedica helped me with the constant motivation that I got from the team members and my peers.